Hello everyone and welcome back to Rayman to the Great, like Tony the Tiger, Great Escape on the SEGA Dreamcast. I am one more sheep yet again, and today we're gonna tackle the echoing caves. And that's quite an ominous looking door, and you might notice 4 lights on that door. Even though we've been interrupted by a loading screen, but there we go. And there's also 4 light indicators on the bottom of the screen. That basically means there's switches in the state we need to flick. 4 to be precise. And once all 4 switches are flicked, there we go, that took way longer than needed to. Then the door will open, allowing us to progress further into the caves. And this is probably the most annoying enemy in the entire game. Because, look at this, he goes back and forth. He's like all the other pirates we met before. But the problem is, this guy's hit detection seems really wonky. Sometimes my energy blast would just sort of go straight through him. So this boss fight, well, it's not a boss fight. This enemy sort of took a hell of a lot longer than it really needed to. And it also doesn't help that the game suddenly decides to go, oh no, you wanted to hit him? Well, I'm gonna throw it to the left of him. I don't like this enemy. It's only with this enemy I have trouble as well. Every other enemy in the game, I haven't had that big an issue with. I mean, sometimes my aim will be slightly off, but you know, it's normally not that big of trouble. It's not a big deal. But of course, just keep spamming him until he dies. To be honest, this is probably the most tedious and boring part of the entire stage. There we go, he's done. And this stage is actually quite a short one if I remember correctly. I'm hunting rabbits. But yeah, it's actually a very, very, very short level from what I remember. But again, there's the first of the 4 switches, and if you jump across to this little island, hill thing, there's a hole. As you can probably guess by the split second of an arrow that appeared. You meant to jump in the hole and then jump into the water by here and go for a nice dip in the sea. I didn't realize there was this much swimming in the game, to be honest. I thought there really wasn't that much swimming, but it can color me shocked. There is a lot. But of course, the second switch is hidden right by here. And it's very easy to miss because I know a lot of people will probably look at the pool of water and just go, there's probably a bonus area. There's nothing there with the switches. There's no way the switch is going to be down there. Actually, I made that mistake before where I sort of missed this pool of water entirely. But of course, there's an enemy by here. And unlike in previous segments when we had to fight this bloke, there's no pit. There is no way to sort of run him off the side and make him die. So how do we tackle this guy? Well, it's quite simple, really. If we by the pool of water, there's a purple lum. Not a purple lum, there's a plum. Plum, purple lum, is the same difference. So grab the plum off the tree by shooting it, and throw it at the big footballer guy. And to be honest, I kind of feel sorry for the football guy after you do this, because you can hear him suffocating inside the plum. Is like, what? That's just dark. Granted, this game as a whole is pretty dark for a platformer game, but still, that's just mad how you suffocate someone in a plum. And don't go on to me saying, oh, he's just a pirate, it doesn't matter, or he's just a robot, it doesn't matter. It does matter, right? Because robots in this series, for some reason, can breathe. I know, because there was a cutscene where Razorbeard, you could see his chest moving in and out as if he was breathing. Therefore, I conclude that robots in this universe can breathe. Case in point, I win. But anyway, from what you can barely see, there's actually a pirate by here. So while you're hovering down, charge up your energy pellet. And if you shoot a fully charged energy pellet at him, he's going to die in pretty much one hit, allowing you to hit the switch and progress further. And up by here, there's also a different type of switch. These type of switches sort of manipulate the environment in a simple way. So by here, these little blocks, these pillars, will rise up, allowing you to climb up and progress a bit further. And even though it looks like we're going the exact same way, going out the same way we came in, we're not. This is a completely different area from what we came in with. it threw me off so many times when I played this game way back in the day. I used to get so lost in the stage because I didn't realize this was the way out. But I digress. Of course, it wouldn't be a platform game without the platforms, so of course we need to jump on these platforms and they'll start going upwards as soon as you land on them. Once they reach the very apex of the height they can go, the very top that they're able to, they will start to turn and they will push you over to the bottomless pit below, so be very, very careful. I'm hunting rabbits. I can't do animal FUDs. I wish I could, but I can't. But for the most part, the stage is really easy. Be careful by here, because actually, what am I on about? You don't need to be careful. Just flip the switch, run over here, and we'll be on our way. And I swear to God, that lump was invisible. I didn't see it. Did anyone else see it? Oh. Anyway, we're off into the caves themselves, where you might remember previously, back in the Menhire Hills, I believe, we actually had to make use of a mechanic with the barrels that allowed us to temporarily fly. This entire stage is sort of based around that concept. So I hope you guys have pretty good twitchy fingers, because it's actually quite awkward to control these things, because it's really stiff, the movement is. So yeah, let's grab the barrel keg and boom. Down is up, up is down. You just move left and right, and like I said, the movement is really stiff. And you want to let go at the barrel at the precise right time, but otherwise you might have a bit of an issue getting that cage open. Of course, there we go. And I love the music whenever you're actually flying the barrels. For some reason, it's just really amazing. This game has a phenomenal soundtrack, and it's around this point where the game actually starts to get really, really interesting soundtrack-wise, and just overall gameplay-wise. But you might see this by here, the Fairy Glade. Wait, whoa, 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 whoa. Why are we going back to the Fairy Glade? This isn't right. Well, don't worry, folks, this isn't the same area of the Fairy Glade we've been in. This is an alternate area, and we need to go here to finish off this stage 100%. Not that it really matters, I'm not doing a 100% run, but you know, if any of you are having trouble getting 100% in the Fairy Glade, this is probably why. And I think this is like the only real instance where you need to go backtrack from another level to this level. Or basically, it's the only time I really remember you needing to backtrack to get hold of everything. For the most part, this game's very generous in the fact you can normally get everything first time through, but hey, you know what to say. Now, don't jump straight over this gate. One thing I always had trouble with is I never noticed this big patch of web. How I missed it is absolutely beyond me, but I used to not know this was there, and I used to have such a hard time trying to figure out where to go in this stage by here. So use the web, climb up, and just basically follow the path I'm going. It's very simple. However, these black lumps that are popping out of nowhere, they're just coming out of nowhere by here, they are obnoxious as all hell, especially when we get to the very end of this sort of cobweb hang gliding. It's not hang gliding, hanging section. Hang gliding, what the hell am I on about? So they can be quite obnoxious to deal with. Just try your best to boop them whenever possible. And don't... What the hell happened there? Just swing from purple lump to purple lump. Seriously, what did happen there? I just sort of grabbed on. I was like, nope, don't want to do this now. I'm out, guys. I'm gone. Ugh. Of course, it has some very tricky platforming by here. It's still very easy thanks to the fact you have a glide. But I can imagine some people being thrown off by depth perception and such, considering that's the whole reason that 3DS exists, right? Unless you're playing a 3DS version. Anyway, you see this X on the floor by here. What you want is the pirate to throw a barrel onto the giant X, just like in an earlier part of the Fairy Glade, and we need to jump up here, which will give us another robot pirate. This one also goes down in one hit with a charge blast, so don't worry too much. Just blast him and he'll die. And another Glowbox prism. I don't know how many of these are in the game or how many I need to collect, so I might need to research that if I want to show off much of the Glowbox village. But anyway, let's just drop down into the hole and we'll head on back to the echoing caves. And somehow we went right where we came from. I have no idea how this works. Geometry. Although I do like it when games sort of do this sort of idea, because it really makes me feel like all the worlds are kind of intertwined. Not as much as like in the case of Banjo-Kazooie, where everything literally is intertwined, but... Well, not Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo-Tooie. Banjo-Kazooie's kind of split apart. But I digress. Grab onto this barrel, and we want to use this barrel to blast open the switch, allowing us to open up the doorway into the next segment of the level, where we're going to make use of more barrel gliding. Yay! I do really feel though the barrel flying is really underused. It's not yet. It's an underused idea. You don't see it much in this game at all. It's kind of disappointing, to be perfectly honest. I love the barrel riding sections. I would love to see more of these things. There we go. Just throw the barrel up if you want to get the cage. Why you wouldn't want to get a cage is beyond me. It's just a cage. It gives you more health if you get enough of the things, so... But anyway, be very careful by here. It is very easy to sort of clip the water and die. If you touch anything while you're in barrel form, you'll die. Unfortunately, that segment doesn't last too long, but... Like I said, very easy to clip things and die, and... In one section, there's actually an invisible wall in the middle of the pipeline, where I don't show this off, but I've seen playthroughs where people just sort of die repeatedly for no apparent reason. They just spontaneously explode in the air. So, if that happens to you, just sort of try and re-maneuver your barrel a bit so you don't to the slight left or right from where you're getting blown up, because otherwise you'll be frustrated. Okay. Now that cage literally gives you nothing other than a little hint telling you, hey, push the switch. I don't know why it gives you a hint. You don't really need the hint. It's not that hard to figure out. Push the switch, it'll open up the grate, and you can quite clearly see the switch through the grate as well. So I don't know. Just run straight around the other side. Blast the button. Alliteration, I love it. So yeah, blast the button, grab onto the barrel, and blast away. Barrel blast, if you will. But like I said, very hard to get past. It is very easy to clip the floor. Somehow I managed to do this first try. I have no idea how. I must be extremely, extremely freaking lucky. Yeah, that's all I can say. But there we go. We're practically at the end of the stage right now. It's very disappointing to me when I have to get off the barrels, because the music is just phenomenal. I love the orchestrated soundtrack of this game. But here's the very final barrel to blast, and if we don't suicide, I have no idea why I did that. There's actually a cage to the left hand side. What I'm about to show you is the absolute wrong way to do this. Yeah, don't do that way. What you're meant to do is actually just blast the platform where the TNC's at right now, and just sort of jump across to the cage and free the TNC that way, not suicide almost to get hold of the TNC. But there we go. There's the stage over and done with, pretty much. Just a one last barrel, and there we go. So with that, folks, thank you all for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. That's a fantastic view, by the way. If you've enjoyed... No, actually... Yeah, thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Don't be sheepish, people. And when we return next time, we'll be taking care of the next level of Rayman 2, which will be... I'll tell you in a minute. I really have no idea what level's next. Come on, game. Tell me what's next. What's next? I recorded this last night. The Precipice. Ooh, this is a nice level as well. Thanks for watching. I'll see you then. Bye!